Hi, I'm Jason Perez. I'm from Alameda County, and I'm joined by a great team of folks from 6 different counties, 8 different folks. We'll introduce them in just a second. But I've been really proud to work with these folks for the last year on our project, which is a survey and interview of county CIOs on future technology trends that we're working on now and that we're going to be working on in the upcoming year. So, a little bit of a rundown of what we're going to cover in this short presentation. I'm going to give you an introduction. I'm going to tell you who the team is. And for those of you that were here in the presentation beforehand where the presenter was having the guns, no. Just no. There's going to be no shooting. I'm going to give you an introduction to our methodology. Louis from Riverside County is going to talk to you about what we actually got from the survey and our interview results. He's going to give you some analysis on it, and then we're going to turn it over to Arlene, who's going to be giving us some next steps and how we see the future of this report happening. Our team is joined over there. These are our folks starting at the top. Louis from Riverside County. The Marin trio of Rowena and Kevin and Tim. Tim couldn't join us today. We've got Arlene from Contra Costa County, Solano County. We have Veronica, and then myself and Kerman Debu from Alameda County. So mostly a Northern California tent except with one SoCal team member. So what is our project about? Our project, we sat down about a year ago and said, we have the same question a lot of you have, which is, what are our colleagues doing now? What are our colleagues planning on be doing in the next year? And how does that shape our vision of what we want to do every day when we go into the office? So we knew we wanted to do a survey, but a survey wasn't enough. We couldn't just send an email blast and collect that data. We wanted to get a little bit deeper, and we wanted it to be customized and focused to what you do every single day and what we do every single day. So we gave a little framework. We knew there were hot topics out there, and we asked you and the CISDA members to kind of give your thoughts and feedback on what you see happening in the next year. Infrastructure and architecture was a big topic. Security, as you've seen from the Gartner reports or the presentations, security is a hot topic. We also wanted to talk about data management and analysis. There's a lot of tools out there. Mobility and Internet of Things, these are hot topics. Cloud, and even topics that are affecting some of our public safety customers like sheriff, around the drones and the aerial devices. We sat down a year ago and we said we needed to start a framework of just how we build our team. So we developed a culture. Our culture, coming from 6 different counties, was a little different resources, a little different backgrounds, but we knew we wanted to set some guidelines on how we were going to work together for the next year. We started at the top as design thinkers. We knew that we were architects and problem solvers in our day job, and we could bring that to this project. We also wanted to make sure that we were agile. We had to be flexible. There was lots of different thinking, a lot of different positions, but we were very open and honest with each other about how we wanted to deal with those discussion points. Data-driven, that's the core of our project, data. It isn't much about our opinions. We're going to give you a little bit of our opinions and recommendation, but the survey is your data and your information. It's at the core. So we knew we wanted that to be a foundational. Makers, obviously it's good to talk about it, it's good to plan about it, but we had to execute. Our team would go off into separate topics, separate groups. We would actually talk to CIOs, and we would put little research groups together. So we actually executed every part of our project working pretty well together. And crowdsourcing and advocates for collaboration. One of the things, being a remote team, we had to learn how to communicate without coming together every single day. Louis couldn't come up from Riverside. Our team from Marin couldn't come down to San Francisco. So we worked with tools like Skype and other web meeting conferences to get together on a regular basis. And I, for one, am going to be glad to have my Tuesday lunches back, guys. One more thing, though, is this all couldn't have been happening without Steve. I do say thanks to Steve. He was on several of those calls, lots of emails. We were picking his brain. So he was the foundation and the core of our team, and that was very appreciated. So what's our roadmap? Here's our Yellow Brick Road. Obviously, I mentioned we would meet every Tuesday at noon. We were very good and very strict about that. Arlene kept us on track, and that was a good forum every week for the last year. We've developed a charter. Some of the folks that were very strong in project management helped others kind of come together and build this charter about what we wanted to achieve in this project. That also led to our scope, which we actually had to review every now and again to make sure we weren't going outside the lines. We developed a schedule every month, what we wanted to do for the past year. We identified risks and mitigation strategies. And I'll tell you this one, the biggest risk I had was that we were going to be not having a lot of participation from the CISDA audience. And you know what? You guys didn't let us down. I appreciate that. Thank you so much. We got a lot of data. We obviously had to develop the interviews and the surveys. We built that together, we tabulated that, and then built the report. The report's available to you on the CISDA group site. You'll get the link for that. And I'll give you some highlights. Turn it over to Louis, who'll give you the highlights of the report.
One of the fascinating things in this project is, like, out of 58 counties, we get to talk to 27 of their CIOs and then IT directors. It's awesome to pick their brains about the technologies they're dealing with and also the future plans for their county. And it's incredible. Every one of them is thinking about the cloud-based service and mobility. They're dealing with the technology at present moment, or they are planning something big for the future. And if you go back 5 years, nobody wants to talk about the cloud. We don't trust, our data stays here. Now, today, the whole world has changed. Next comes in the line, if you look at it, improved security tools. I mean, it's incredible. There isn't a week, or I would say like a month, is not going by us without seeing any security breach or anything about security nature in the news or in the email or in the magazines. You can always read about these things. So it's no surprise for us to see that, but it's very, very important for us to know that CIOs have that is highest priority in their mind. Even though they're thinking out loud on different technologies, the security is the highest priority too. Big data and open data, you cannot separate that. When you talk about open data, you have a data all over the county in different formats. So big data pretty much goes along with that. So they're talking about like open data, and most of the counties even there, now they're talking about the maturity level of like having an open data management policy going for there. And as you can see, like it goes down to improved robusting networks, social media, virtual desktop, ERP, GIS, web development. We didn't present everything. There's a lot of the technologies they talked about it. It's an incredible amount of wealth of information we have to collect from the CIOs. Next slide shows we covered the top layer, and now we want to cover the entire population of the technology in the California county. So we had this like SurveyMonkey survey, and we sent it all over the county, and we got 101 response. 101 candidates from 32 different counties participated, and they showed us like very, very incredible amount of information too, which surprisingly, some of them are matching. We'll talk about in the next slide. Can you click on this? 82% want to adopt the flexible architecture, means like they want their user experience to be fluid to go into the digital media, multiple devices. And look at it like the security is the next one. They want to implement the security, adopt the security disruption plan, and 70% wants to have the data management policy. That's the next level of maturity in the open data. You want to streamline your data. You want to set some policy, what data can be shared and who can share, all those. Fourth is like cloud and email collaboration. I mean, like it's in the office productivity, it is in the email collaboration, it is more into like everything they think about it. In Riverside, we even went to the extreme. Any new solution that we are looking at it, we want to make sure cloud is one of the key foundation of like vetting this process. So is it cloud solution we can provide? If not, then we can go for other solutions. So as you can see, like there are other technologies, mobile priorities, and the list keeps going on. The next slide is what we taught is like we covered both segmentation of like population, like the top leaders and ground down. But now we are imposed both of them. We found out like cloud, cybersecurity, and mobile are the top technologies that every one of the California counties that we interviewed or we surveyed, they're looking at those three technologies. Either they are doing something, or they are like planning something, or they already done something. With that said, I'm going to pass on to Arlene. Here you go.
So you understand that most of us, or all of us, were in touch with you, asking you to complete the survey and the CIO interviews, right? So we would like to thank you for doing that. And essentially, what we delivered here is twofold. The number one is we shared with you the output, the results of the survey results and CIO interviews. And what we hope is for you guys, in the future, you can potentially partner with the other counties depending on what technology directions you're going. And the second one is for the future members of the CISDA credential community. We understand that there's a next batch. We laid the groundwork and framework for you. Please feel free to contact us, and we will be your guidance to help us with the process. And again, these are The CIOs who help us, thank you so much, and you will see their quotes in the report and presentation on the URL presented above. Thank you.
You had two charts up there on one slide, a left and a right. Which was the difference between those two charts?
We have so much information, it's hard to put together in one chart. So we have to split that into two charts. So we just split it into two charts to show you like the differences of all the technologies that we dealt with. There is absolutely no reason and difference between. All of them are different technologies. That's why we put it as two charts.
That was actually done in our open data portal, and it was a lot of data, so we couldn't show it all in one chart, but it was a continuous of our survey results.
Have you compared technology trends for public service with overall general private industry technology trends? Are they any different?
Yes, we actually did that, and in our report that's available to you all, that's in the CCISDA website, it shows that government, we, county government, are lagging behind about a couple years. So our report actually matches Gartner's 2015 trends, so we were a few years behind.
Touch on the point, there is wealth of information about private sector. Specific to the California county is what our focus is. You can see that in our report. I mean, it's perfectly matching, like we are staying behind one wavelength of the technology, not to waste the taxpayers' money. That's the whole logic behind our CIOs.
First, thank you for such a great presentation, and I think as a recommendation for us CIOs for the next CCISDA, maybe secure cloud and cyber, maybe three segments we should consider to discuss at large. And I don't know if it's too late for that, but it seems that all of us are on the same spin. Maybe it will be a good time to exchange ideas and work together on some of those solutions. Just a thought.
So when you're looking at the future, all you have is an opinion and a projection. Did you guys happen to interview any of the guys about trends that have happened in the past that you could actually measure or get some concrete data on, or were you purely just looking for what they thought was going to happen next year?
We were looking forward. That was one of our scope statements, is we didn't want to look past. But obviously through that process, you're going to get what happened in the past. So we saw things like GIS and open data be topics that have been discussed and reviewed. But cloud, mobile, security, these are the ones going forward. Thank you very much.